Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am Lanolin, and we are back with episode 103 of my modded Minecraft Let's Play series. And in this episode, we're going to, of course, continue on where we left off last episode, working on our infrastructure to create some awesome auto-crafting capabilities using applied energistics. So before we can actually get to really auto-crafting stuff, although at this point we kind of have the ability to auto-craft things, it's just not very intuitive at the moment. So what I want to do is kind of set up some new terminals, kind of like our crafting terminal that we have over here, that we can utilize to make the requesting and retrieval and monitoring of crafting things that much easier. Oh, you can also see I've started to kind of put a wall in because I figured we could do that this episode too. Take care of some of the aesthetic things that we need to take care of. But first things first, I want to get these terminals running. And to do that, I kind of want to set up the wall first to give me an idea of kind of what I'm working with. There we go. Let's go ahead and put one more layer in. Then we can kind of get started. There we go. Cool. Well, actually, you need to be free because there's a wire that's going to run back there. So yeah, I want to move. Not only do I want to create new terminals, I would actually like to move this terminal. Even though I really like it here and it looks really fancy, it's kind of, I need it to be somewhere else. I kind of wanted to put it with the rest of my terminals. And I can't add any more terminals to this awesome little terminal station because it's full on channels. See? 8 of 8. Now I could move these guys somewhere else, but that sounds like a huge pain in the ass actually. So I'm just going to move the terminal. Easy squeezy. So first things first, we need to get a little spot where we can put it. And I think I'm going to put it right there. Now, there are actually a few more terminals we can make. And one of them is actually really important to what we're doing, and that is the pattern terminal. We need to be able to make patterns to show our crafting CPUs how the hell to make some of this stuff. Not too hard to make, just requires a regular crafting terminal like I have, and an engineering processor. So we're going to be making a few of these terminals. We also need an interface terminal, because eventually, as you probably have imagined, it'll get to the point where we can't actually access these interfaces anymore because they'll have blocks and stuff all around them. And we don't want to have to break down our freaking tower of auto-crafting every time we need to access an interface. We won't necessarily need to access a lot of interfaces all the time. But if, for example, say I took one of my interfaces and, I don't have any molecular symbols on me. Oh, man. Well, let's say we went ahead and just built up this tower. I was like, you know what, screw it. I have the resources. I'm just going to add all of the molecular assemblers and all of the ME interfaces that I can fit with these remaining 6 channels that I have. And just do it right now. Just fill it all the way up, make these 2 towers look awesome. Well, some of those interfaces I won't actually be able to access. So, how will I be able to access them so I can attach more patterns into their interface? Well, that's where the interface terminal comes in. It allows you to access all of the terminals, all of the interfaces, and throughout your entire applied energistics system. Any terminal that has like a GUI or has an inventory or something that you can access on the inside, you'll be able to access. Quite nice. Or at least all the interfaces at least, and anything that the interfaces are interfaced with. Does that make sense? Yeah. Pretty nifty. So let's get these guys going. And to do that, we want to go ahead and start with this. Again, we don't need the smart cable here. I just really like it. I like having it here. That way I can look to see how many, channels I've used on a line. There we go. So let's run this guy down here. And do that. Nice. And we're actually going to do one more right there. Ooh, actually, let me think about this. Is there a better way to do this? Nah, that's fine. Actually, yeah. Let's do a little bit different. I'm used to playing Space Engineers. I wasn't going to actually break that block first. I was going to break the rest of these, then do that one. I was waiting for these guys to fall on the ground. Nope. Everything is nice and floaty in this world. Well, at least, yeah. I've been playing on planets, Space Engineer planets. So yeah, things do hit the ground after you break them. They don't just kind of float off. All right, so as we were, before we got super distracted, we need to first, well actually not first, we need to make the other terminals first. Then we can move our crafting terminal, or else we wouldn't be able to access our stuff. So let's pull up all the rest of those terminals. Oh yeah, we also have the gas and fluid terminals from extra cells, but I don't actually have any gases or fluids stored in my AE system yet. Maybe in the future we might be able to do something like that. Although I do like looking at my fluids. I like having all of them in their big tanks, so maybe not. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, so first things first, we are going to need to make an additional crafting terminal for this pattern terminal. So let's go ahead and do that right off the bat. Let's get 2 terminals. Oh man, really? Oh, really? No. I am going to need another interface. Okay. There we go. Let's get some formation cores going. Get some annihilation planes going. Or annihilation cores going, I should say. Not annihilation planes yet. We're working on that one. Logic processor. Am I really out of logic processors? What? No. I have 56. Just, they're not done. Damn. That's okay, though. I'm going to grab some of these to have them in my inventory so I can go ahead and get them going, but I don't necessarily need to create those yet. So let's go back to our terminals. So let's make our first IMI terminal. Wait, what? Oh, man, we need more logic processors. God damn it. Sad face. You know, you think you're super prepared for everything, and then you're not. And then you're not. So let me go ahead and make up a few of these, like a handful. I'll probably make like half a stack of these, and then I will come on back. Okay, so we're back, and we got ourselves our ME terminal. And actually, I should make a couple of these. Oh, I already have made a couple of these. Perfect. Okay, back to terminals. Terminals. So we got our 2 ME terminals just chilling there, which means we can go ahead and create the interface terminal. Wait, what? Oh, you just need panels. Oh. Okay. My bad. Guess I wasn't paying attention to that one. Okay. See, this is why I had all the Certus quartz dust on me. I was like, oh, I'm out of glass. I'm going to have to make more. I better go ahead and get this ready. So, crafting terminal, I know we're going to need for sure, so we can make this pattern terminal. Bam! Are you serious? I'm running out of processors all at the same time. Man, I thought I was ready. No! That's cool. It's cool. It's cool. However, it does mean that we're going to have to run back down here one more time. I should mention that eventually, once we get this applied energetics system really going, like really up and running, I won't have to worry about running down here and doing this anymore, which will be wonderful. Be quite wonderful. Because honestly, automating all of this stuff isn't too terribly bad. It's fairly straightforward with applied energistics and doesn't require too many channels, which is nice. In fact, I should actually write that down on my list of things that I want to automate with applied energistics. I actually have a little bit of a list. One of the things on that list, I'm not actually really automating with applied energistics. I'm just importing the item into the system with applied energistics. So I don't know if that actually counts. Nice! Crafting Maestro. What is that? Craft the pattern terminal. Wait, I already did that. Oh, that's the pattern terminal. Okay, cool. Nice. I was thinking crafting terminal. I'm like, what? What? Okay, so 1 terminal down. Pattern terminal complete. Now we need the interface terminal, which requires an illuminated panel, which I thought I made some of, but I didn't. Almost messed up. I never noticed that I needed that. I am just the worst person. I understand everybody who's screaming at the screen right now. You need to, you fuckboy. Yeah, I know. I needed to. I'm sorry. You would think I would actually go ahead and just make one more just to be safe, but nope. I ain't even scared. I'll waste more time running back down here a 3rd time. I don't even care. All right, let's get those guys in there. Get everybody nice and ready, warmed up. Gimme. I didn't pick it up, did I? I did. Okay, you go. I'm glad I have this acceleration card in here. Just imagine how much slower these guys would be if I didn't have those acceleration cards. I could put more of them in there, I just haven't. Although, I probably should. Okay, now we can make this guy. Interface terminal, hell yeah. And finally, that guy. So I'm going to put the interface terminal... Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, that's right. Duh. I got to put my facades down. And I need to move these guys actually forward one. For some reason, I have no idea why I thought they actually filled up a full block space. Just a derp. A complete and total derp on my part. As per the usual. Wow. Get off of there. And I'm short. One block. Alright, well, regardless. Illuminated panel. So crafting terminal is going to go in the center, because that's the one that we're going to be using the most. Any interface terminal can go right there. And then the pattern terminal can go right there when I have another... Wow, hilarious. So, yay, we can access our stuff. So let me actually switch this back to stored craftable, number of items. There we go. Nice. We need flux dust, or flux cable. Wow. That's okay, because I made a whole bunch more sort of quartz dust, just to make sure that I wouldn't run into this issue, at least for a little while longer. Nice big chunk of glass cable. Boom. And pattern terminal. Hell yeah. And I went ahead and made these facades so I can do this. Hoo, that looks so cool. I love it. So the pattern terminal is going to allow us to make patterns that we can then put into the interfaces. That's going to allow us to do the auto crafting. And as I mentioned, the interface terminal is going to allow us to access our interfaces. Nice. So these two guys connected to these molecular assemblers. I love it. I love it. Oh, you know what? I can actually cover this back up now. Sweet. Oh, actually, I can cover that up too. There we go. Nice. Oh, I can't middle click that. Maybe it wasn't. Oh, well. Whatever. So now that we have all these terminals, we're able to completely control our applied energetics system, like completely. Like we can access everything through these three terminals without needing to really go anywhere or do anything. I can also break this stuff down. I loved it, but it has depreciated. Cool. Just double checking to see if there's anything else I can move. I don't think so. I think we're pretty much good to go. Everything that's there now is there. What's also nice is with that guy being moved, that means that we have one more channel, which means we have one more spot for one of these guys. We can put down another ME drive. Now, past that ME drive, we will need to maybe redo this a little bit, kind of move some cable around, maybe mess around with some different types of data transfer that you can do with applied energistics, but we won't worry about that until later. What we're worried about is auto crafting. Hell yeah. Let's do it. Let's auto craft something, man. So first things first, we need patterns. We need patterns. Specifically blank patterns. They're not too terribly expensive to make, but you will find that honestly this is the first thing that you want to teach it how to make. So you take your blank pattern, once you have your pattern in your pattern terminal. Nice. Take your blank pattern and put them over here. Hit this little arrow to encode your pattern. Write the entered pattern to the current encoded pattern or to available blank pattern. Bam. Nice. See? Now he's blue. Cool. And if you want to clear these guys out, I believe you just shift right click in the air, turn them back into a blank pattern, or if you're lazy and you don't want to do that, you can take an encoded pattern like I have here, and you can just put them in here. Oh, I thought you could put them in there. I guess not. Maybe it's because it's the same pattern? Oh, it's probably because it's the same pattern. But I'm pretty sure you can take patterns that have already been written and put them in there, and it'll just overwrite them. But not if it's the same pattern, because that would be silly. So now that we have this set up, we run over here to our interface. We can plop them in there just like that. And if you hold Shift, by the way, oh, it's not showing. Oh, you know why? Because that is what it is. If you hold Shift, when you have an encoded pattern in your inventory, it'll show you what it makes. Because this guy makes a blank pattern, it just kind of turns it on and off. So we can place that guy in there. We can see what he makes. Hell yeah. And also, I should point out, if we come over here to our interface terminal, we can place him in there just like that. And there he is. Nice. So cool. All right, so here is the big one, the big one. How do we actually auto-craft things? Well, if we type in blank pattern, we'll see right there it says craft. We click it, Ooh, we can pick how much we want to make. Do we want to do just 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 15,000, 10,000, 30? No, we don't want to do that. That's too much. Let's just do 10. Oh, we're short on quartz glass. So let's teach it how to make quartz glass. Oh, like that. Well, we can do that. We can do that eventually, but for now, we can't do that. Or wait, actually, let me come over here. Oh, wait. I know what we can teach it how to make. Oh, there we go. My bad. I was hitting the wrong one. Not fused quartz. Quartz glass. Yeah. Bam. We can actually teach it how to auto-smelt stuff if it needs to smelt something for a crafting recipe. But we'll have to worry about that in the future. We'll have to move some stuff around and get some machines set up for that one. Won't have to worry about that yet. But what we can do with this is actually, if we make one more blank pattern. Actually, you know what? Let's just make this up real quick. We'll worry about this later. But it's sitting here. So let's toss this guy in there. We should be able to come over here and who's working on it? Oh, you're done. Are you done? It probably finished. Because it'll wait until it has what it needs, and then it'll do it. So if we go to blank pattern, we'll see that... Oh, we don't have any. Okay, never mind. Next. You still don't have enough? What? I hate you. Oh, you only have 11. Okay, well, let me make some more. I'm trying to showcase this off, and I'm like derping all over the place. All right, there's a bunch. You happy now? All right, so now when we have blank patterns, it doesn't wait, by the way. I don't know why. That was my mistake. It doesn't wait if it doesn't have what it needs to start. If while it's crafting, it runs out of what it needs, I believe if you toss more stuff in there, if you give it what it needs while it's crafting something, it'll continue, but it won't start unless it has what it needs to craft everything you want. So we want 10. Next. There it goes. So it's going to need 20 quartz glass, 10 pure Certus quartz crystals, 10 to make 10 blank patterns, along with 30 iron ingots and 30 glowstone dust. And you can also pick which CPU it uses. CPU 0, CPU 1, but so you can tell which one it is too. This one, CPU number 0, is that one on the left over there, has 5 coprocessors, and then CPU number 1, the one over here on the right, has its 2. But we can just leave it on automatic, let it handle its own business. Hit start, and it should begin. And just like that, in almost an instant, we have 10 blank patterns. Oh, baby! No longer will we need to do almost anything by hand. So now we can take our blank patterns, drop them in there like that. We now have a pattern to create quartz glass. We can run on over here, or we can drop it in that interface terminal back there if we wanted to. I'm in the habit of just doing it manually. Eventually, I'll get into the habit of just using the interface terminal. Sweet! So now if we run back over to our crafting terminal, look up quartz glass, you'll see that we have some, but we want to craft more. How the hell do we do that? Well, if you middle click with your like mouse wheel, if you don't have a mouse wheel, you might have to rebind it, but if you have a mouse that has a mouse wheel, I can't imagine there are too many people out there these days that don't, but you never know. But yeah, middle click with your mouse wheel, and you will come up with this interface, and you'll be able to create some, even if you already have some. But I don't have any Certus quartz dust, so I'll have to cancel that out. I ran out already. I made a stack of Certus quartz dust, and it is already gone. Yeah, I've already used that entire stack this episode. Wow. Yeah, definitely need a ton of Certus quartz crystals. And again, the automation in regards to machines we'll be able to take care of in the future. But for now, we're just going to kind of do this stuff manually. So let's let that do its thing. Let's run back up here to see if there's anything else we can do. Actually, what we should probably do is get to work making a whole bunch of things that we don't want to make by hand anymore. Like sticks. Screw sticks. Screw making sticks. I'm tired of doing it. So how do you make sticks? Actually, no, we should teach it how to make oak wood. So first things first, oak wood is just like that. Bam. Next things next, how do you make sticks? Just like that. Bam. Now, in regards to making wood itself, making the wood planks, I don't believe it uses the Forge Ore Dictionary. I believe it will only use oak wood logs to make oak wood planks. However, with sticks, I believe it'll use any wood plank to create sticks. It's smart about its forge or dictionary uses. Although I think that may be more on the programmer than anything. So there, now we can auto-craft wood, or we can auto-craft wooden planks, and we can auto-craft sticks. Hell yeah. Now, if you wanted to, you could like kind of set your interfaces up to, like, I could only put applied energistic stuff in this interface. I could only put wood-related things like sticks and planks and stuff in this interface. You could do it like that, but it's not necessary. And plus, since we have access to it through this interface terminal anyway, it's kind of irrelevant. Nice. So we have some basic crafting set up. So now that we have this stuff kind of set up, we can cover this up and make it look nice. So first we have over here. So what I'm going to do first actually is put these guys down. These guys are both currently sitting on 2 channels, and this guy is sitting on 3. So let's remember that. Let's put you down. I've got some oak fancy signs here, so I can remember how to do this. So this is the really, really important thing about applied energistics, and that is remembering how you wired everything. Because 15 episodes from now, we're going to come back and we're going to be like, okay, it's time to automate this using applied energistics. We're going to run up here and we're going to look at our setup and go, oh crap, I have wires going all over the place. I don't know what goes to where. I don't remember how much is doing what or what's important, blah, blah, blah. So let's label stuff. Let's label stuff ahead of time to make sure we don't have any issues. So these guys are, right now they are only terminals. Terminals. Let's do something like 3. Terminals 3. That looks really not good. How do I center you? Center. I know there's a way to do it. Formatting. Or actually, maybe I just got to do it myself. There we go. So you're like that. Control A to highlight it all, and let's make you a little bit bigger. Kind of pushed it off the edge there a little bit. Be careful when you're making your text larger if you've already typed your text out. We kind of ran into this issue when we first started using these badass signs, but yeah. You will lose the text that you wrote. Terminals 3. Nice. So these guys, this is our terminals, and there's only 3 channels being used. Go ahead and bump this up to 3x. There we go, 3x. Why does it keep... There we go. These guys are going to be Autocraft. Interface is 1. Or actually, this is 2, and you are using 2 channels. That's actually kind of confusing. How do I want to do that? Yeah, auto-crafting interfaces, you are line 2, and you are using 2 channels. Actually, let's do dashes. Personal preference of mine. I usually do the underscores because I do a lot of editing and stuff, so the underscores are useful, but dashes work nicely. So auto-crafting interfaces, line 2, 2 interfaces are being used. And, I didn't make enough signs. Oh, it's not over there anymore. I have to get used to that. Fancy oak signs. Boom. There we go. Now, some stuff, even though it's really easy to make, you don't necessarily need to auto-craft it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to set up these guys to auto-craft slabs. Actually, slabs might be useful to set up the autocraft, but I don't necessarily need to set up the oak wood labels, Just keep that in mind whenever you're making stuff with your applied energistics system, because they can get pretty complicated. When they get really, 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 really large, they tend to get kind of laggy, actually. So just keep that in mind when you start to automate everything with applied energistics. Oh, yeah, so this guy is going to be on the center line, 3x text scale, well, the center-ish line. ACI 1, 2. Unfortunately, this is going to be a little bit off because of the 1 being a different size than the 2. But there we go. Those guys are all nice and labeled up. And actually, I can toss this guy up there. So we have terminal 3 coming out here. Or we have terminal line coming out here with 3 channels. We have the Autocrafting interface line 2 with 2 channels. Line 1 with 2 channels. And then this guy is going to be... What do you have? You have 7 channels right now. There we go. Oops. What to call this? Oh, I guess I could just call this storage. Storage. There's only 1 line, so I'm not going to label it anything. And it is using 7 of 32. Do I want to? It's a little off. These guys I didn't label with the of 8 because it's only 8. I figured if there's 32 channels available, I'll put the of 32. If not, otherwise I'll just leave it empty. Nice. So terminal line, 2 Autocrafting interface lines, and 1 storage line that's using 7 of its 32 channels. Although actually it's more like using 7 of its 8 channels, but it is connected to this ME controller, and all I need to do is move some stuff around, make it work, do some peer-to-peer stuff, which we haven't dove into just yet. But we definitely don't have time to do that this episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. That is definitely going to close out this one. Lots of fun this episode going through and setting up our auto crafting, which we now have access to. Hell yeah. Currently we only have a handful of things that we can actually auto craft, but it's only a matter of setting up the patterns and adding them to our interface. So between this episode and next, I'm probably going to add a bunch more auto crafting patterns so I don't have to spend too much time on camera doing it, because this next episode or 2, chances are going to be me going, ooh, I should autocraft this. Ooh, I should autocraft this. Ooh, I should autocraft this. And making patterns occasionally here and there and everywhere. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you're able to learn a bit about how autocrafting works in Applied Energistics. It can be a little bit confusing when it comes to these crafting storage cells and these co-processing units. Just remember, if you want to craft a whole bunch of different things at once, you need more 4K. You need more crafting storage. These yellow guys. And if you want to craft really, really complicated things, you want more co-processing units. Yeah. And also, if you want to craft a whole bunch of one thing, you need larger crafting storage. So 4K, 16K, 64K, etc. Actually, I think it stops at 64K. But yeah, I don't know why I just typed 64K in there. So anyway, I have been Lanolin. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next time. We're going to come back. We're going to continue on with our auto crafting and see if we can't maybe automate some of the cool things like these damn sugarcane. And I'm going to finish up building this room, make it look all nice between this episode and next. So again, I have been Lanolin. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.